For many years, I had problems with my back, and coming from a professional sports background, that was a problem because I came from 2 times a day professional workouts, professional trainings into a sitting job. Essentially, this is now my space where I spend all the time at. No matter if it's editing, playing video games, watching, everything is pretty much done in this space. And that means I spend a lot of time sitting. And the seat I had before was actually making my nerves pinched, essentially rendering me useless in any kind of faster movements, horrible to do any activities with. So I had to find a solution. One of the problems was me sitting incorrectly, or more importantly, the seat I was sitting in made me sit incorrectly. So I had to find a solution, which I'm actually sitting on right now, and that is the LiberNovo Omni chair. While this video is not sponsored by LiberNovo, I did actually reach out to them, so I was the one reaching out. I wanted to find the best of the best that I could get that would help me with my problems. So they did send out the chair for me to test out, see how I like it, and make this review for you. But they have no say in this video, and I'm just gonna go over what I think about it. Is it as good as it's advertised, and is it something for you? Before we go over what this chair has and how it performs, let me tell you about the assembly of it, because it was super easy and quick. It really felt like assembling Lego or other blocks. You have a huge cardboard cutout showing you step by step what you need to do. And in the box you'll find everything you need, even tools and gloves. So it literally took me just a couple of minutes to set everything up, click into place, connect everything, screw in, and pretty much I was set to go from there. So in terms of just assembly, it is a super quick and easy chair to assemble. Even though it has so much mechanical parts and also electronics, it was super easy and fast to set up. With assembly out of the way and the chair ready, how good is it? I had to replace my old ergonomic chair for something that will truly take care of your body. So the first thing is the Bionic FlexFit Backrest, essentially the back part of the chair, and it is made in an ergonomic shape so that it goes ergonomically with your back, making you sit in that correct posture and holding you up where it's needed. So on this front, I will have to say that it does feel like an ergonomic chair, and you can definitely feel that ergonomic S-curve on your back. But there is more to it, because you also have the electric lumbar support, which is called the ErgoPulse motor system. Essentially, there's a motor that can actually change how much of that ergonomic feel and how high and low you get it, meaning that you can really customize it to your own liking. Usually on a chair it's fixed position, so it can fit a little bit different depending on the person. Here you can move it around. On the side of the chair there's actually buttons where with a press of a button I can move that mechanism up and down, which is super nice. You can really customize it to your liking. If it's too much, not enough, higher or lower, you can really nicely customize it to your liking, which is super nice. You can also change it depending if maybe you're doing something else and you want a little bit less of that support. Maybe you're a little bit more laid back, maybe you're more focused, you can change that anytime you want. But once again, that is another thing that is nice for that S-curve of the back. Just feels super nice. Another thing is the dynamic support. So essentially, lots of chairs just have a flat back or just one single structure. This actually is like a one structure that splits into more, and splits into even more parts. It is essentially 16 pivot points, 8 flexible pads, and 14 dual connection points, which lets it really conform to your body. So if I was to move to the side, I can feel it moving with me, which is a super nice and unique experience that, to be honest, I never really felt before, is that chair is moving with you. Mostly we're used to a fixed chair. This is a nice thing. You can really feel how it's moving with you. Like the armrest, headrest, and backrest moving in sync when switching between different recline positions. Not only that, pretty much the whole chair is made to be movable. So even the armrests can go up and down, back and forth. You can even tilt them inside or more straight. They call it the 4D armrest adjustment, and essentially you can move it in any direction you want to really make it the way you want to. For example, I didn't think about it first, but when I go into my desk straightforward, other armchairs are locked into position, so you cannot go any farther because the armrest is gonna hit the desk. Maybe you can put it higher or lower, but here you can actually slide it back and have even more room to move into it. So it's really nice. Like for example, I can move it below the desk now and turn to you normally without hitting the desk. These are maybe some things that are smaller, maybe not things that they are gonna talk about the most, but I feel like this is a small thing that has a huge impact. Not only that, even like the headrest has so many different adjustments. You can put it higher or lower, forward or backwards, meaning I can always adjust it to make sure my line of sight is aligned with the screen across all the different recline positions, which is one thing that I'm really picky about when gaming. At first, I didn't notice you can actually change it to forward and backwards, and I thought to myself that it's a little bit too far when I want to lay on it. And with one adjustment, you can move it farther back, or just press on it and move it closer here. As you can see, it's all adjustable to your liking. Same thing can be said about having it a little bit more upwards or lower depending on how you want to lay on it. It is just such a nice customizable feel that really makes it your own. Also, I just want to say that the back, because it moves and the way it feels, it kind of feels like a sports car feeling chair, essentially, where it's really like hugging your backside. When you move, you definitely feel how it's moving with you. There's a super nice feeling sensation. And as with many chairs, you can also put it up and down up to 11 centimeters. Another thing is the angles that you can put this chair in. You have 4 different separate angles that you can put the chair in, with the first one being like a traditional sitting upright to your computer productivity setup. This is a 105-degree angle, so it's a much more, work focus situation. You also have the 120, which I really love for when I want to maybe game for a bit and I want to be a little bit more laid back, a little bit, maybe not fully, but a little bit more laid back. This is a really good one for that. You also have the 135, which is even more than that. I feel like it's good for something like scrolling on your phone, just taking a little break here and there. Then we have the full 160 degrees, which is the most like laying down. And to be honest, I thought, who is gonna lay on a chair? And that was me. I was playing Battlefield and I had breaks between the games. And what did I do? I put it down and I was just laying there, enjoying my time. It feels so nice to just, switch that position once in a while, and it just feels such a good relief to be in a whole different setup, because now you're no longer sitting, you're now more straight, so it's more like laying down. And you can use it however you want. You have different options and you can change them on the fly. And one thing I really like what they did in combination of that different angles and the motorized back support, they made the Omni stretch. Essentially, you can lay down, put a programmed massage in a way. It's more like a stretch rather than a massage, essentially pushing you farther with each cycle on your back. And at first, you will feel how tight that back is, but with every cycle, you're gonna feel a little bit more stretch out, so that back is more flexible, and it just feels so good. And it's something that really works for me. I don't know if it's gonna work for everyone because of the bed I have, the chair I had. I've had a lot of times where I really felt that stiffness in the lower back. With this chair, it's phenomenal. That program Omni Stretch really is cool. And it's like a nice thing you can do on a break. So if you just lay down, you can put it on and just enjoy a little massage. Like I said, is it the best thing in the world? Maybe it's not a full-blown massage, but I think it was a really smart move to have that in the chair. It's just an extra feature that has benefits. I can definitely see myself using it, maybe not all the time, but a lot of times. Like literally today in the morning, I did that. I felt like my back after sleeping was super clenched, and with this, I just lay down and let the chair do the work. Overall, the chair has a battery which can charge with USB-C, so that should not be a problem. But you need the battery to have that mechanized possibilities in the back. Also, this chair is actually great for everyone. It's good for gamers, it's good for productivity, work scenarios, hybrid users. For me, I am like the perfect user for this. I'm the most hybrid you can get. I do my work here, I do my gaming here, I do my watching here. Like this is my 99% of the time, this is where I'm gonna be at, because all the media, like the social media, work related, YouTube, content creation, gaming, I am here. So this is like the dream chair for me. This is like a nice hybrid. Even if you're just looking for a gaming chair or like an office chair, this can work for everyone. And because the design is really nicely futuristic and tech, ergonomic, but it's not over the top in like terms of colors or anything, well, because of that, it can really match any scenario and any place you put it. My favorite thing is definitely how much customization and changing you can do on this chair. Is just such a nice experience to really be able to adjust the chair to your liking. You can really make this chair your own, where other chairs usually don't have that. Another thing I noticed is the super smooth wheels and the turning of the chair. Like, I can literally so easily move around in this chair, slide back and forth. The wheels are super silent and super smooth. Compared to other chairs I had, this is just super silent. One way I would compare it is like when you hear a car with a normal petrol or diesel engine and then an electric car where you don't hear it. That is how I would compare it. This is definitely something you don't hear that much, and it's super smooth in movement, both in wheels and the chair itself. It's super nice. I think this chair is a nice mix of ergonomics and comfort. A lot of chairs go into that comfort or that ergonomics. This is like a nice mixture of both, because you feel that ergonomic back, you feel that support, and you feel those different modes and things you can change, but at the same time, the materials, the headrest, the backrest, or the bottom is super nice and like a plush, like a soft pillow, but at the same time being super supportive of your body. I can definitely say that is a nice, different feeling. That even extends to the seat itself, because the foam on the bottom is actually 3 different foams, from a much more stiffer, much more harder foam on the back where the support is happening, going through the medium, and then at the very front there is a much softer foam, so there's no pressure on the front of your legs. Just feels super nice. Maybe you're not gonna think about it when you're sitting on it, but if you touch it, you can definitely feel the different zones, and it just makes a whole lot of difference when you actually think about it when you sit on it. Together with the chair, LiberNovo actually sent me the Omni footrest, which is like an additional thing you can get for the chair. There's 2 features to it. The first step is kind of like putting your feet a little bit higher. It actually makes the chair much more comfortable in a way. It just makes your posture a little bit different, but I definitely felt like it added to it. To be honest, I actually used it with a different chair, like a traditional normal chair, and it felt really nice too. So that actually brings your feet a little bit higher into that nice 90-degree angle, and it just feels really natural. And it feels good for your body, and that can be a nice addition. Second thing is, it is amazing when you want to lay down on the chair. So if I put this at 160 degrees, I can put my legs up on that footrest, and now I'm pretty much laying down. So instead of having the legs being the 90 degrees to the bottom, I can actually be more horizontal and lay down, which is super nice. So it's a nice combo. Is it something you need? I think it's something you have to ask for yourself, if your space actually has the space for it, your scenario, if you need it, or if you're in a space that maybe you cannot really put extra accessories. But if you have the space and you wanted to improve even more the ergonomic and comfort experience, this is definitely a nice footrest to have. It improves the blood circulation in your legs and also just adds more comfort. But that is all fine. Are there any negatives that I found with the chair? And I would say that most part I didn't really have any problems with it or anything that I would not like. But there's one thing that I would love to see. The seat part is a little bit on the shorter end. I'm on the taller side. I'm 188 centimeters, so it's like 6.1 feet. I am on the taller side, and I do feel like at the very beginning I thought that it's a little bit short, because where it's touching my back and where my legs stop touching the bottom part, it felt like I wanted to be a little bit more back, like I'm slipping out on the front. That sensation actually passed after like a day or two. I think you kind of like your body gets used to the chair and how you fit into it, also how you set up the S-curve on the back, and also depending on which mode of the angle you are in. The more angled you are, the less you feel it. But like I said, I am on the taller side, and I do think that for most people it's not gonna be the same thing. Even with this, like I said, it was more like the first impression, like the first feeling, but also I had a much longer chair before that could have been just like the feeling that something is different. And if you are a bigger person, they actually have the Maxis chair, I think it's called Maxis, which is bigger than this one and it supports more weight. This is just overall bigger, so if that could be something that you're interested in, but the size of the chair is a problem, or maybe your height, your weight, then they have, I think, a newer Maxis model. Overall, it's a great chair. If it's in your budget and you're looking for something that is both super ergonomic and really comfortable, then this is definitely an amazing chair to get. With that being said, if you have any more questions about the LiberNovo Omni chair, let me know in the comment section down below. That is gonna be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.